Hi Year 5, your fluency for today is times tables on Purple Match, so you can pause and go and do those now to warm up your brains, or you can do them when you've finished. Before we start today's work, I'm just going to go through yesterday's challenge. So Alex said 3.105 is greater than 3.2 because 105 is greater than 2. Hopefully you disagreed with this, and that's because 3 wholes, they're the same, but 1/10 has less value than the 2/10 in 3.2, and that's something we're going to explore further in detail today. So today we're carrying on with decimals, but we are looking at ordering the decimals, so putting them in order from smallest to largest or largest to smallest. And to do that, we need our trusty place value grid. So to start off with, let's think about a 1 decimal point number. So if we had 0.4 and 0.2, hopefully we should recognise that 0.4 is greater than 0.2 because this column here, well, they're units, so neither of them have a whole number. And then the next column, our next biggest value, we've got 4/10 and 2/10. And because they've got the same denominator, they're in the same column, we can compare them and we know that 4 is bigger than 2. Before I start to pause the video, I want you to compare these two numbers, 1.66 and 1.066. They're very similar numbers, but one is definitely bigger than the other, and I want you to think about why. How can we explain that? Your first thought might be that this number is greater because it has more numbers in the place value grid. But we can even out our digits by adding a placeholder to the first number. That then might make it easier to compare. Hopefully by now we've remembered that this side of our place value grid, the further left that we go, the bigger the value. So that's always when we start comparing numbers. We're always looking at the first column on the left. So here we've got a number in the units. Both of my numbers have got 1 whole, so that's the same value. Then let's go to the decimal. In the tenths column, this number has 6/10, whereas this number has no tenths. So straight away, without even looking at the rest of the digits, I should be able to recognise that 1.66 is greater than 1.066. Because even though this doesn't have any thousandths, tenths are much, much bigger. They're 100 times bigger than my thousandths. Think back to that penny and the pound. Okay, so we know that 10p or 60p is much greater than 6p, which would be here. Okay, so when you're comparing decimals, put them in your place value grid, and you must always start on the left-hand side. So look at any numbers that are the same and then go to the next column. So if one has got more tenths than the other, that holds a greater value than your hundredths. Next up, we're going to have a go at comparing 3 numbers. They're all quite similar. I've tried to be a bit sneaky. So you've got 1.12, 2.12 and 1.21. I want you to put these 3 numbers in order from the smallest to the greatest. Hopefully you remembered that we always start on the left, the greatest value of our number. So I've got no hundreds, no tens. In our units column, that's where I can start off. So I'm looking for the smallest number. I've got one number with a 2 whole units, so that straight away should be telling us that that's our biggest number. To find our smallest number, I've got 2 numbers with 1 whole in them. So at the moment, those have the same value. So we go to the next biggest column, so the column with the next greatest value. My top number has got 1 whole and 1/10. This one down here has got 1 whole and 2/10. So remember, we're looking for the smallest. This one must be the smallest number because it has the same amount of wholes but only has 1/10 rather than 2. So my smallest number should be 1.12. So then the next number is this one, 1.21, because it has the 2/10. And then we said that this was our largest number because it had 2 whole units, so 2.12. Next one for you to have a go at is all of the 3s. So this time we've got 4 numbers to compare. 33.3, 3.130, 3.32 and 13.033. This time I want you to put them in order from the greatest to the smallest number. Off you go. Okay, hopefully you remember, largest point on our place value grid, so the furthest left. I've got no hundreds. In my tens I've got 2 numbers with a 10 in the value of the 10. So in this one I've got 3 lots of 10, and in this one I've got 1. So remember, we're looking for the greatest number. So this one, I'm going to put a number 1 next to it. That's our biggest number. Put a line so that we know we've done it. Okay, it doesn't matter about the rest because it's got 3 10s. They're the biggest value. Then we look for the next greatest number, which has to be this one because the other 2 numbers don't have any value in their tens column. So this one must be next, 13.033. Now we've got to compare these 2 numbers. So which one is the biggest? So we go to our next column, which is our units. They've both got 3 units, 3 whole units. So then I need to go to my next column with the greatest value, which is my tenths. This has 1/10, this has 3/10. So hopefully we recognise that this one must be the next biggest because the units are the same, but 3/10 is greater than 1/10. And so the smallest number must be 3.130. That's actually it from today's videos. Short and sweet today, and hopefully you should find that easy peasy. Your task for ordering decimals you'll find on Mymaths today, and my one tip would be to draw out your place value grid and write all of the numbers down so that you can identify which is the biggest to the smallest. Okay, so good luck. Let me know how you get on, and because it's so easy, I would think that lots of you have got time to have a go at our challenge today. Any attempts, please put them on the blog or send them to our email address.